I studied Chinese because I wanted to learn a new language after spending 6 years of learning Spanish, and I kind of wanted a language that wasn't close to Latin based.
Not a lot of people expect just a normal Indiana girl to be able to speak Chinese, and so I like being able to surprise different people with my abilities.
I think it's really fun because it doesn't have any morphology. There's no tenses. There's, you don't change words when they're plural or not. There's no gender to words. There's no like the conjugations and declensions and all the things you have to memorize with Spanish or French. I think people who find that aspect of those languages very frustrating might find the fluidness and the flexibility of Chinese very fun.
So I think for a lot of people, Chinese seems like a really difficult language, and they're scared of starting it because they're not sure that they're going to be able to handle it. But I definitely think that the teachers here at Purdue are really aware of this fact, and they really try to cater to everyone's needs as they start learning Chinese. So I think that if you're worried about how tough it's going to be, don't worry about it. The teachers will definitely help you through.
The atmosphere in Chinese class is a lot more relaxed. It's a lot more informal. We can get off on discussions about stuff we didn't expect to, about Chinese culture or about certain words. It's fun. Actually, I look forward to it.
Our teachers are very supportive in us learning, and they help us in any way they can, whether it be through getting exposure by talking to actual native Chinese speakers, as well as we get opportunities to learn about cultural aspects that people who are just learning the language wouldn't get to learn.
Some of my best memories of learning Chinese at Purdue actually occurred in the classroom. This was because I was surrounded by students who shared a common mindset with me, and that they really wanted to delve into the Chinese language and learn more about the culture. I especially have fond memories of learning advanced Chinese vocabulary and trying to imitate the calligraphy of Wang Xizhi, one of the most famous Chinese calligraphers.
In the professional world, as many of us know, China is a leading economy, as well as a huge influence in many business aspects around the world. And I think knowing Chinese and having the ability to speak and understand it will give me a huge advantage when working with colleagues, associates, clients who are from China or have a Chinese-speaking background.
Next year, I'll be moving to Suzhou, China for 3 years to work in an electronics manufacturing plant where every day I'll be able to speak Mandarin with my colleagues. As an industrial engineer, I need to be very proficient with the advanced Chinese vocabulary regarding the assembly line and manufacturing processes.
It's true that most people in my field who speak Chinese as their native language probably also speak English, but there's not the same depth of connection with other people when the language barrier is only being crossed in one direction. It's like if two countries were connected by a bridge, but you could only go across the bridge in one direction. It's just not the same, and I've experienced that even with the relatively limited ability that I have to speak Chinese conversationally. There really is another layer to people if you can say something to them in their native language.
I'd say being able to go to Beijing and study at Peking University, it opened my eyes to how China really is and how much I grew from that experience.
After taking Chinese 101, the following semester I spent an entire semester in Taipei studying at a university there for an exchange semester. It was super beneficial having that background, even from just 101, to utilize those skills and just some basic vocabulary and conversation knowledge to help find my way, to ask for help or directions if I needed them, as well as just having a better grasp on how to say new words that I was learning or new places that I was learning how to say while there. This really gave me a leg up compared to other students who were also there studying who had never learned Chinese before, and really allowed me to even pick up on more new vocabulary because I had already had a background in it.
So I think if you'd want to grow as a person and learn more about China and the language, I think definitely studying abroad would be a good option.